everybody, I'm Tom Vassell, and welcome to 12 Games of Christmas here in the Dice Tower. This is a series of 10 videos where we talk about various games that we think you should get other people or yourself for Christmas. And this video is about party games. You know who's always having a party? Our sponsor is Above Board TV. We do a lot of videos about board games, but Above Board TV does that and is throwing in a ton of comedy on top of that. We go to conventions to talk about board games. Above Board goes to conventions and runs around and does weird skits. Yeah, that's what they are. They're sketch comedy, and they just recently started including this comedy in a dungeon crawl series called Dungeon Call with Becca Scott and several other talented people. So you want to check that out. Part of their comedy is doing really weird things, and one of their weird videos that they're doing right now is playing a game about bees while covered in bees. That video is in a link in our description below, and you want to go check that out. Comment on that video because you can win a prize. If you go to that video and comment there, you are entered to win one of 10 games that you have your choice sent to you from Amazon to the continental US. That's $50 or less. And one lucky winner will get an all-expense paid trip, 3 days, 2 nights, to LA to record a video with the Above Board TV team. I hope you win. All right, party. I love party games. These are the kind of games that are really important. These games might not even be games that you buy people for Christmas, but you buy for yourself to take to the Christmas party or the Thanksgiving party if you get them fast enough. So let's talk about 12 great party games. Here we go.
Many party games are great at leading to really funny moments, and I think that the first one here, Dumb Questions to Ask Your Friends, does that very well. If I have to give a central short idea of what the hook of this game is, everyone else at the table gives you the answer to a question, but you don't know what the question is. Then you're given 5 question cards, and you have to figure out which question was it that everyone else saw, and they give you an answer. What's the number of ideal kids to have? Well, someone says 0 and this person says 7, right? You don't know what that question is, and you look at cards and you say, is it how many times a day do you go to the bathroom? I think they go to the bathroom more than 0 times in a day. And so it leads to these funny moments where you're trying to guess what the question was, and you're trying to say how likely it was. It's very simple, but you know what? I've had a lot of laughter with this one. I think that it does something clever that I've never seen before. A nice little twist to a familiar kind of feeling party game. Dumb Questions to Ask Your Friends.
All right, party games, woo woo! This is Blank Slate Challenge. Blank Slate is already a party game. This new one is if you have a smaller event of 2 to 4 people, or you can still play with teams, I guess. But the whole thing is Blank Slate Challenge, that is a variation, is Blank Slate, the original one too. It's all about writing a blank and then a word, and then you have to try to all get the same blank what you would put in there. Like, for instance, grilled blank. Then everyone's going to write different things, you know, like veggies or whatever. And then you have to have a match. Now, when this one, you're going to say grilled blank. Then each person, you can do 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, or whatever. And it's neat to do couples on this because everyone's going to write it down, and somebody might write veggies and cheese, so grilled cheese. And you turn them around. And if it's in the top, you're going to score more points. The bottom, you match them both. Then you're going to get a lot of points. But the whole thing is trying to match your neighbor. And that, I think this game really stands out in the genre. There's not a lot of party-style games or lighter games for these smaller groups. I think this does it. Blank Slate Challenge.
Caution Signs is a simple game about drawing, but drawing quickly and drawing stupidly. What I mean is you're going to get these little caution signs. The cards come and there's a top and a bottom, and they're usually some kind of animal, energetic bear or smelly baby or whatever it might be. You get 2 of them randomly, you put them together, and then you draw your picture. You're going to put them in the middle, and one person is the guesser, and you'll throw in some extra signs in the middle too. They're all shuffled together, and then the person has to say, okay, this is energetic, this is frantic, this is silly, this is smelly, this is baby, aardvark, bear, eagle, and they have to find the right signs for the right people. You want them to guess yours, you want to guess other people. You say, I can't draw very well. Doesn't really matter in this game. It's silly, it's fast, it's fun. That is Caution Signs.
Flip 7 is a ridiculously simple, addictive game for up to 18 players with 1 box. Or you can get more copies of the game and play with even more people. I mean, if you have more friends than I do. The deck of cards consists of numbers 1 through 12, and there's 12 12s, 11 11s, 10 tens. I think there's 9 nines. I don't know. You get the point. Okay. But when it's your turn, you either get dealt a card or stick with the cards you have. If you get a duplicate card, you bust. Your round is over. Score nothing. If you stick, you add up the numbers you are holding and you get those points. But if you press your luck and manage to get 7 different numbers, the round ends and you score big. Like a bowl full of jelly big.
Next up, we have Hitster, and this is a game for the music trivia lovers on your list. In Hitster, what you are trying to do is you are trying to listen to snippets of songs, determine who the artist is, and even potentially what year the song was released. This is done through a series of cards that are in the game that each have a QR code on them. QR codes are the things that you can scan with your telephones or tablet devices. It will play you a small snippet of the song, and then the players have to guess what that song title is. And then again, they can get potentially more benefits if they can also put it in a correct timeline where the song year was released. So this is a game that is really a no-brainer for anybody on your list that loves music and likes to have these types of trivia nights. This is a very, very solid choice for that. And, it being a party game, it can play, a nice range of players. So Hitster is a game that anybody who loves music trivia really would probably have a great interest in.
If you're looking for a party game that creates a lot of good table talk and discussion, Link City might be the game for you. So in Link City, we're all trying to plan a city together. However, the mayor is the one who's actually planning where stuff goes, and everybody else has to see if they can figure out where the mayor wants to put stuff. And you have such interesting decisions like, hey, do we want to stick the crematory next to the school, or do we want to stick it next to the alien abduction site? And so you have these fun conversations about how, oh, this would be funny if we put this here, or, oh, this is obviously logical that we put this there, but everyone's minds work differently. And so this one is just a fun set of discussions to see if the table can figure out what the mayor wants. Also, that mayor role switches around, so everyone has an opportunity to do a little bit of everything. So Link City, what a fun discussion party game.
Next up is a game that sounds like it shouldn't work. This is called Smug Owls. You have a few randomized decks of cards here, and you reveal a card from each of these little stacks, and it'll create a bit of a riddle, or it'll create a question that's never been asked before, like, what never disappoints because it breaks? And now everyone around the table has to try to come up with an answer to give, and then one person will be the judge for the best answer of the round. We've seen plenty of games where one person's the judge and other people give answers, but the fact that these cards create interesting riddles, ones that you say, well, what is the answer to that? And someone says, peanut brittle. It never disappoints because it breaks. And so not everyone is going to be as good as that, but when you have such a satisfying answer, someone says something that you never would have really thought of, and they say it quick, man, this game really comes to life. So Smug Owls, a very good one that we can recommend here for you to check out.
Next up on our party games, we recommend So Clover. I'm not really a fan of party games, and I'm not really a fan of word association games, but So Clover bridges both of those categories for me. It's cooperative. You are giving clues, a one-word clue, to try and get your team to guess what 2 words were your base words. And I really like it being cooperative in nature, that you're all discussing this together. It feels like it takes out the pressure of those word association games. You don't ever feel stupid. You feel like maybe, oh, I didn't even think about that. It has these aha moments more than it has that haha, I outsmarted you moments. So it comes together really well. I think anyone can play it. I've played games in which it bridged communication gaps as well. I really enjoy So Clover, and that's why it gets our recommendation this year for party games.
Do you have someone on your list that loves poker, and even more specifically loves Texas Hold'em poker? Well, if you do, you really need to check out The Gang. The Gang is a cooperative version of Texas Hold'em poker, which sounds amazing. It sounds almost impossible. How are you going to take this deeply competitive game and turn it into a cooperative game? Well, The Gang pulls it off very well. The idea is that you're going to be going through the stages of a typical hand in Texas Hold'em poker, and at each stage, whether you're getting your opening 2 cards or other cards that are going to get flipped over. You're trying to guess, along with your fellow players, the strength of your hand or the potential strength of your hand. And then at the very end, once everyone has decided what they think their hands are in ranking amongst the other players, either the weakest, the strongest, or somewhere in the middle, and you're going to determine how your team did. Either you have all of the players' cards ranked correctly and you'll succeed, or you'll fail and you will not succeed. In either case, you can potentially add a card to the next round where it's going to make things either easier if you failed the last mission or harder if you succeeded in the previous mission. It's a really intriguing idea. This is one of those games where you're thinking, how has this not happened before? It works. It really works. So anyone on your list that likes poker, Texas Hold'em poker, show them the game because it's going to kind of turn the idea on its head.
Next on our list is Things in Rings, and this is a good party game deduction game. So you have a giant Venn diagram with 3 circles that all overlap, and you're trying to place pictures in them to figure out what the rules are of each one of the circles. And this is such a fun one because it's got that great deduction where you're trying to figure out, hey, what is it about the spelling and the actual creation of the word? What is it about the object and how it fits in the world? And then what is it about this object physically that is different than all the other ones? So why do boots go in the red and the blue circle, but they don't go in the yellow circle? This we're trying to figure out, and we're trying to do it by placing out cards and guessing if we're right. So I think that there's some fun stuff going on in this. I played this so many times with so many different groups. People love it. It's a great deduction game. If your group is into that or someone you're purchasing for this Christmas, this might be a good choice.
Okay, this one I've been the advocate of, and this game is killer. This game is killer was a surprise to me. This is what a filler game should be. Ha, filler and killer. But the whole thing is you're playing the Alien game, and you have 2 cards pretty much. So you can play one as an action, one as location. And that is it. And you go around, everybody plays one card, snake draft, they play the other card. You find out where they are and what they're doing. For instance, they could be in the airlock and someone else could be venting the airlock. You could just be hiding in the closet. All this happens, and then the alien's revealed, and he will kill someone in that area wherever he is, or he could be jettisoned off if you do kill the alien. So the point of this is it's co-op until it's not. You are all trying to kill the alien, but most of all, you're trying to survive. And this game plays quick. 10 to 15 minutes. It's very simple. You hand out the cards and you run and gun and you just do it. So this is a huge staple for us into the night or new people because it comes out really quick, looks great, and it's killer. This game is killer. Really is today.
And finally, our last game today is Ghosts Can't Draw. Remember the Ouija board? Love it or hate it, we all can agree the Ouija board is not a game. Except now it is, and Ghosts Can't Draw. This comes with a device that looks a little bit like the Ouija board, and one person is secretly the ghost. And everyone has their hands, eyes closed, and moving this around, and the ghost is drawing a picture. When it's done, everyone's trying to guess who the ghost is. And then after you guess who the ghost is, you get 1 or 2 guesses, if you guess who the ghost is, to guess what picture they just drew, while the ghost will get points if you guess it correctly also. It is a lot of fun. It's fun. This device is everyone moving around, drawing the picture, and then you look at the picture, it just looks terrible. But it might just look enough like what the person was trying to draw. Just silly fun. That's Ghosts Can't Draw. And that's it for party games. Folks, I love party games, like I said at the very beginning. And we tried to find ones that were available online, whether pre-order on the website. Do your best to find them out there, but we try to pick stuff that you can get right now or get very soon in time for the Christmas season. We have 9 other lists. We got tomorrow the strategy and advanced strategy going up, and we've already done thematic and children's games and solo games. There's a lot of lists up. Check them all out. Once again, thanks to our sponsors, Above Board TV. Until next time, you're watching the 12 Games of Christmas on the Dice Tower. I'm Tom Vassell. See you next time. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you, and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Bassett.